Hey Sunbud, welcome to Swedish Svart Metal Time. That is Swedish black metal. Now, I haven't done these dual reviews for a while. No better excuse than why just put two different bands into one video when you can do it just with one band. This one is called here Murg, Murg, and two albums which are actually both re-releases. This is to kind of celebrate the band's newest album, Streven, which is out there in a different review. So this one has the second album called Gudatall from 2016, as well as Varg Björn, that is Varg Björn, that is Wolf and Bear. Two albums, this one 2016, 2016. And I'm just gonna give you a quick recap if you missed the band previously. So two-man band from Sweden, very simple. Both of these CDs in design, not much to show, no lyrics, not too many images. So there you go. Same could be said, which I'm not unboxing these more than this one. The background or backside of the CDs, both released through Nordisk production, which is a good label when it comes to especially Swedish black metal or extreme metal talent. And here are finally the CDs, Varg Björn and Gudatall. Now, Varg Björn started very strongly, being this kind of a melodic at the same time very intense, in your face kind of a Swedish black metal, putting so many good ideas into one album. Now, eventually, when it comes closer to the end, it kind of loses its, the biggest grip. But nevertheless, I still think this is one of the best albums that came out in 2015, especially when we're talking about Swedish black metal or black metal in general. Very catchy, very intense, kind of powerful, not so maybe dark or sinister in terms of atmosphere, but overall just great album. And I totally think this album should deserve more attention than what it was maybe getting previously. And still, this album was kind of ringing in my head like I gotta get back to it, but for some reason I never remembered to actually buy it. I'm sorry for that, but it just happens when you're getting promos constantly. That's my excuse anyway. But now that I got this for review, I was so happy because all this suddenly, like after 4 years, this album was like, oh man, this is so good once and again. So definitely a kind of an album which is just so enjoyable, a good debut album. And I think if you missed it, you shouldn't do that. But what about the successor, what we have here called Gudatall? Now, I must say I was a little bit disappointed back then, and I'm still kind of disappointed that only after 1 year, because the band was still kind of fresh in my mind, when Gudatall came out, it didn't have the same impact. Now, after a few more spins, I still kind of agree. And by no means, my memory is not good. I mean, it's just like I forget albums that I have reviewed like a couple of years ago. So sometimes when I just give a kind of fresh listen to an album, I'm like, oh, this was way better than what I was actually remembering. And sometimes it's the other way around. But with this one, it was pretty much how I remembered it to be. And I must say, it's quite a nice album. But when you have a quite decent album versus a good or even great album, it's kind of a given that you just can't have the same kind of a virgin-like feeling. Like when a new band makes this kind of a strong impact, a little like, wow, what just happened? What did I just hear? And you're just happy about it, that you just spend your, I don't know, 10, 20 euros, dollars, whatever currency on an album, LP, CD, tape, doesn't matter. And you're just happy about you when you're finding this new album. When it's time for the second or the third album and it's not making the same impact, you're kind of disappointed, even if it's quite good. We all know the story anyway. So this is kind of an annoying thing to say, but Gudatall is not that good of an album, yet at the same time it's totally worthwhile listening to. So if you're low on money and you just gonna go, I wanna go something with Rauta reviews, I would say in this duel, there is no question. Varg Björn is definitely your album to go to. Then again, you don't have to buy anything blindly because all these 3 albums are already out on the band's Bandcamp page. So you can just listen back and forth, compare which way you feel. Me personally, I still would go this one, and this is just something you should give your listening time, a chance, because after all, you might just be liking this album way more than I do. For example, on Metal Archives, this is actually rated better than the debut album. But hey, what do I know? We all are subjects to our own subjective visions and opinions and whatnot when it comes to releases. Murg is still definitely a band you just should not miss. And if you missed my review of the third album, Strevan, well, go check it out and figure out what do I think about it. And of course, the most important thing to do is to check out the Bandcamp link and figure out on your own whether or not this is worth your time and money. Rauta hereby thanks you for your time. See you soon with more reviews coming your way.